Good day, my friend. I hope you are having a fantastic day so far, but we are going to be taking a look at how to breed the legendary the Sun Dragon this month. So of course the Sun Dragon is the new dragon of the month in DML, and he is a legendary light and fire dragon, which is actually a legendary that some new players could use in a team because of his AoE attacks. But in order to breed the Sun Dragon, we need to use a combination of fire, earth, water, and plant elements. And of course, there's like hundreds of different combinations that you could use to breed this dragon. But as always, I have cut it down to the 3 best breeding combinations that you can use. And so, if I head into my extra den here, because I'm using this in the middle of the castle event, then the first combination I'm going to suggest over to you is going to be the plant plus elemental dragons. And so if we breed these two together, you'll see that we've only got a few possible outcomes. So we've got the sun, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other possible combinations. And if we take a look at this quickly on DML Planner, we'll see the same thing. We've only got those 5 other possible outcomes and an average misbreed time of roughly about 7.5 hours. So the average misbreed time on this one's a little on the high side, but there's only a few possible outcomes, meaning that this is one of the best combinations out there. It gives you the highest breeding chance, so maybe if you're going to be away from the game for a few hours, so like 4 to 6 hours, maybe pick this combination over the other ones. Then the next combination that I would suggest for you to use would be the fire plus Kitsune dragons. And so this combination, if we check the possible results, this one has more possible outcomes, but the possible outcomes have lower average misbreed times. So with this combination, you can see that we can get the Sun Dragon, but then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 possible outcomes. And overall, the average misbreed time on this combination is just 4 hours and 1 minute. And remember, any combination that I suggest for you to use, DML Planner will also show you, but you can use any dragon with the same elements. So for example, fire plus Kitsune, you could use fire plus Celestial, or fire plus Pineapple, or fire plus Panda. It's just, it needs to be the single element dragon and an epic that has the same elements as one suggested. But anyway, take a look at fire plus Kitsune. With all of the possible outcomes, you can see that if you can unlock Runestone, that's another outcome that will pop up. But aside from that, the only long breeding time for this combination really is the orange dragon. So aside from that, you shouldn't really have too many issues. And then the third best breeding combination that I would suggest, which is a combination that pretty much anyone can use, even newer players, is going to be lava plus melon. So if we take a look at lava plus melon in game here, then we can see all of the possible egos in game. That is, if I can spell. So lava plus melon here, again, we can see the Sun Dragon, and then there's a few other possible outcomes. Overall, the average misbreed time is still quite low, but it also gives newer players the chance to get dragons such as Elemental, Sunflower, Orange, and Agave. So if you are a newer player and you don't really have any of the rares or epics and you want to go for the Dragon of the Month, then you can use Lava plus Melon. It might give you some of the epics, or you might just get the Sun Dragon. Still a really good combination overall. So those are the 3 best breeding combinations, and of course you can take a look at all of these on DML Planner as well, which is where I sort of cross-reference all of this from. But overall, I'm probably going to be using Fire plus Kitsune because it gives the lowest average misbreed time with the lowest possible outcomes. But another thing to remember when you are in fact breeding dragons of the month is to make sure that your breeding dragons are at least somewhat upgraded in their levels, because the higher the levels of your breeding dragons, the higher your chances are of breeding legendaries. So for example, instead of using a level 4 Kitsune, I'd probably recommend for you to level him up to level 15 to level 30, but obviously only level them up to a level that you can very easily afford the food to do so. Like, you don't need to really go past level 30 ever, and plus, if you are going to level up dragons and say you're a new player, you don't need to feel stressed about going above level 15. It's just, it gives you a slight boost. We don't know the exact amount, but it does honestly help. So, level 15 to level 30, whatever you can easily afford, should be more than fine. Maybe even level 15 to 20, honestly speaking. But when you are going for Dragon of the Month breeds, the most important thing that I would say when you're trying to breed them is you can pick all of the best combinations, but if you're not logging in frequently enough to try and rebreed often, you still might not get him. And also don't forget that you've got things like double egg relics and second breeding den relics and time skips, and I use these all the time if I want to try and go for a Dragon of the Month breed really quickly. So I think we should probably do our first breed right now. Kitsune plus fire, and with that double egg relic we get to see 2 of the possible outcomes, and this time it's not going to give us the dragon that we want, so I am going to go with this lava dragon egg, which is just a 48-minute timer. Then we wait 48 minutes, we come back, and we try again. Along with waiting and relics, of course, you can also watch ads to give yourself some time skips as well, which is what I just did, which is going to allow us to skip that 48-minute breeding time, and then we can go for another breed straight away. And it's a good idea to use all of your time skips when you have your extra den and your double egg relics open, because if you activate a double egg relic in 2 dens, it'll work in both dens. So try and maximize the usage out of your double egg relics, because they are quite difficult to come by. You don't want to be wasting them. You go for another breed, and unfortunately it's still not the dragon that we want, but we can go with the shorter breeding time again, so 1 hour 12 minutes. But usually when we use the double egg relics, the ones with the fewer possible outcomes are the better options, but it does depend on how frequent you can be logging into the game, which is why I'm still using this combo. But I also will be doing a time skip, and then we can go for the breed in both dens and see if that works out. So let's go and do that right now, actually. So before I'm going to do my time skip, I'm going to check to make sure I've got all of my other stuff working and ready. Then we will unleash our timers. Normally I don't like to unleash timers unless I do have a, say, 6-hour plus time going on in one of my breeding dens. But I'm just going to do it here for the sake of going for more breedies. Because, you know, it's very rare for me to be on day 3 of the month and me not yet have the Dragon of the Month. But to be fair, I haven't really been trying to breed for it yet. You've just got to be careful during castle events and things like that, that you don't end up losing out on breeding points when you're doing this. But let's go for another Kitsune plus fire. Go! Still not going to give us what we want, game. I see how it is. But now that I've got that den done, we can also go with the other combination in the other den. So I'm going to go plant and elemental, because my elemental's quite a high level. And then we can go with this breeding combination in the other den. Let's go again. Still not giving it. So sometimes the game is not going to be your friend, and even if you're using the best combinations in both of the breeding dens, sometimes the game is just not going to comply. That's just DML. Should we go with one last breed before we hit the road for today? One final breed, one final attempt. Let's go, baby. No luck today this morning, but it's okay. Again, we've got a whole month to try and breed the Dragon of the Month. Sometimes the game is just not going to give you what you want straight away. You might manage to breed the Sun Dragon on your first attempt. It might take you 30 attempts. It might take you 100 attempts. Even if the chances are as high as they can be using the best combinations, still doesn't guarantee you the dragon, which is why you need to be rebreeding as often as you can. Give yourself the best chance possible. But anyway, I appreciate you joining me here today, and I do wish you the best of luck with breeding this dragon. Remember, you're looking out for a 2-day breeding time, reduced to 1 day and 14 hours with VIP. That way, you know that you've got your hands on this new legendary. But anyway, good luck, and until next time, I hope to see you then.